Hello students, I am Mohan Kumari. Welcome back to MK classes for biology. So if you are watching my video, I request you to please subscribe my video. Few of my students had asked me to teach PU1 NCERT syllabus. So on behalf of their request, I had decided to explain the concepts of PUC1 NCERT syllabus 2019 and 20. So in today's class I am going to explain the chapter Structural Organization in Animals, which is of PU1 NCERT based chapter. There are large variety of organisms which includes both unicellular and multicellular organisms. What is unicellular or multicellular organism? In unicellular organism, all the functions are performed by a single cell. Whereas in multicellular organisms, the functions are carried out by different group of cells in a well-organized manner. As we know that animals are included under the kingdom Animalia according to 5-kingdom system of classification. These animals are multicellular organisms. The body of these animals are organized into cellular level, tissue level, organ level and organ system level. Let us see how tissue, organ system organizes to form the structure of an animal. Let us see what is a cell. Cell is a structural and functional unit of living organism. So all living organisms are made up of cells. Group of similar cells along with intracellular substances which perform a specific function is now called the tissue. The branch of biology deals with the study of tissue is known as histology. Then organs. Organ is a group of tissue are organized in specific proportion and pattern. Organ system, when two or more organs perform a common function by their physical and or chemical interaction, which forms a organ system. Organisms are formed when the number of organ systems which perform different types of functions in the body. This is how organisms made up of cells, group of cells forms tissues, group of tissues together forms organs, a number of organs which forms organ system. So number of organ system together which are going to form an organism. Where does the tissue originate? The origin of tissues take place from 3 primary germ layers of the early embryo, namely outer ectoderm, inner endoderm and middle mesoderm. There are about 100 trillion and 200 types of cells in the body, and these are grouped into 2 types. So one such is somatic cells are called as the body cells. The other one is reproductive cells or the sex cells which are associated with the gonads. That is, male gonad is testis and female gonad is ovary. So which are involved in the process of gametogenesis. So somatic cells are grouped into 4 different types of tissues. So what are those 4 different types of tissues? Those are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Origin of different types of tissues in the 3 primary germ layers as follows. Epithelial tissue has ectodermal, mesodermal, endodermal in origin. Connective tissue has mesodermal origin. Muscular tissue has mesodermal origin and nervous tissue has ectodermal origin. Let us study about epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is composed of cells that lines the cavities and surfaces of structures throughout the body. So epithelial tissue found lining both external and internal surfaces of the body. The cells of the epithelial tissues are compactly arranged and there is little or no intracellular substance or ground matrix can be seen. Epithelial tissue are said to be avascularized, that is, no blood supply to the epithelial tissues, and these are nourished by the adjoining cells of the other tissue. Epithelial tissue has its own nerve supply. If it gets damaged, it can undergo self-repair or renew. Cells of the epithelial tissues are attached to each other and to the basement membrane by means of membrane proteins at cell junctions. So epithelial tissues are of 2 types. Simple epithelium made up of single layer of epithelial tissue and the compound or stratified epithelium made up of many layers of epithelial tissue. Both rest on the basement membrane. Simple epithelial tissue are of 5 types. One is simple squamous epithelium, simple cuboidal, simple columnar, simple ciliated columnar and glandular epithelium. Compound epithelial tissue are classified into 2 types. One is stratified epithelial tissue and the other one is transitional epithelial tissue. Transitional epithelial tissue are also called as stretch epithelium as it can undergo expansion. And both the type of epithelial tissue, that is stratified and transitional, are multilayered. So now let us study about squamous epithelial tissue. Squamous epithelium is made up of a single thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. And these are found in The walls of blood vessels called as endothelium. Walls of air sacs of lungs, which are involved in a functions like forming a diffusion boundary. The second one is cuboidal epithelium. So, cuboidal epithelia composed of a single layer of cube-like cells. So, these are found in ducts of glands like thyroid gland. And is found in renal tubules, which is a tubular part of nephrons in kidneys. Its main function is secretion and absorption during urine formation. And the third one is columnar epithelium. So, columnar epithelium is composed of a single layer of tall and slender cells. They are nuclei located at the base of the cells. Free surfaces may have the microvilli, that is finger-like projections. They are found in the lining of stomach and intestine, which helps in absorption and secretion during digestion. The next one is ciliated epithelium. So it is modified cuboidal or columnar epithelium. Cells bear cilia, that is hair-like structures, on their free surfaces. So these are found in the inner surfaces of hollow organs like the bronchioles. Their function is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. And also occurs in the fallopian tube, which helps in the movement of gametes, which is required for fertilization. And the next one is glandular epithelium. It is a modified cuboidal or columnar epithelium. It gets specialized for secretion. Mucus secreting glandular epithelium are called goblet cells. Let us see the types of glandular epithelium. So these are classified into two types. Simple glandular epithelium, having unicellular and isolated cells of alimentary canal. And multicellular glandular epithelium consists of cluster of cells as in salivary glands. On the basis of the mode of pouring their secretions, glands are divided into two categories. Namely, exocrine glands, the secretory products transported to a point by means of a duct. These glands secrete mucus, saliva, earwax, milk, digestive enzymes, etc. And the other one is endocrine glands. So these are ductless glands secretion directly released to the blood. These glands secrete hormone. Let us see the differences between exocrine and endocrine glands. So, exocrine glands, which are called as the glands with the duct, endocrine glands without duct, that is ductless glands. Exocrine glands produces enzymes, endocrine glands produces hormones. So enzymes produced carried by ducts, hormones carried directly to the blood. Examples for exocrine glands include liver, sweat, tear, salivary glands. For endocrine, thyroid, pituitary, adrenal, etc. Let us study about compound epithelium. So, compound epithelium, the epithelium in which composed of 2 or more layers of cells. It has limited role in absorption and secretion. The main function of compound epithelium is to provide protection against chemical and mechanical stresses. This compound epithelium, they cover the dry surfaces of skin, moist surfaces of buccal cavity, pharynx, and the inner lining of duct of salivary gland and pancreatic duct. Let us see the cell junctions. Cells of the epithelium are held together with little intercellular matrix. Cell junction provide structural and functional link between the cells. There are 3 different types of cell junction mainly. In that first one is tight junction. So tight junction help to stop substances from leaking across the tissue. And the second one is adhering junctions, which perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together. And the third one is gap junctions, which facilitate the cells to communicating the cytoplasm of adjoining cells for rapid transfer of ions and small molecules. So these are the 3 different types of cell junctions. Thank you. In today's class, we had studied about the simple epithelial tissue and compound epithelial tissue. In next videos, I am going to explain the other different types of tissues like muscular tissue, connective tissue and nervous tissue. Do watch my video. Thank you.